Hey everyone, it's your pal Angela here, Nerfenstein Girly Gamer, whatever you prefer. And you are going to get a shorter video than anticipated because I have literally spent hours recording this top 10 in the wrong format and I've just realized I cannot edit it. So this is actually me re-recording it and trying to stay enthusiastic for you guys. Even though I've spent all afternoon on it, but I really want to get it done for those that might be interested. Oh man, what can you do, hey? YouTube. It's a hard life, I tell you, when you're doing it for free. Right. So this is my top 10 games of 2019, top 10 board games of 2019. There's a little bit of a caveat here because I'm laughing because I've already done all this and I feel so false having to do it again. Focus, Angela, focus. There's a little bit of a caveat here to say that the games on this list were not released in 2019, because if you followed me for a while, you will probably realize that I was on a board game ban this year and I didn't really buy that many games. I bought a few, but nowhere near as many as I was buying because I was trying to play the games that are on my shelf. Shelf of shame. Giant. Huge shelf of shame. So I've managed to do that, so a lot of these games are older games, but I have played them this year, enjoyed them this year, and I'm hoping to pass off that wisdom on to you in case you've missed something. So let's kick it off and get straight into it so we can get this done a little bit faster than before. Bonus. Alright, so here's my number 10. It's a small box game, Spirits of the Wild. A nice two-play game, and I picked this up when I was in the US. I picked it up from Target. I think it was a Target exclusive at the time for a mere $15. And when I show you the components in this, you're going to be rushing out to Target to get yourself a copy, or Amazon. I think it's available on now as well. So in this game, you are using action cards. You both have the same set of action cards, and you're using them to do different things, collecting stones so that you can fill in your animals and hopefully become the winner of the game. There's this little guy, the coyote, and he will mess things up for you, and you can both use him. But my main point here is look at the components. For a $15 game, and it's by Mattel, I think, as well, which is weird. But it's just beautiful. For a nice, easy little partner game, you can't go wrong with this one. I know it didn't come out in 2019. I think it came out the year before. But it's a lovely, lovely little thing. Really, really well made, surprisingly. That is my number 10, Spirits of the Wild. There's that darn coyote again. So at number 9, we have actually got a game that released in 2019. This is one of the ones that I bought this year, Chocolatiers, from Daily Magic Games. And unsurprisingly, you play a chocolatier, making up your lovely chocolate tray to try and get the most points and win the game. One weird thing on the back of the box, in Chocolatiers, you've taken the role of a young chocolatier boxing up. I feel like they didn't need to put young in there. Very odd. Maybe it's just me because I'm so old and I feel like everything is getting younger and younger and younger. And I'm like, oh my god, death soon? Yeah, it's a bit of an odd thing that they put young there. I feel like they should have just put the role of a chocolatier, boxing up chocolates to make a decadent chocolate display. Now, the reason I like this one is it's super easy to play. It is basically like a little set collection thing and hand management where you are collecting these cards and then you're trading them in for chocolates to make up your decadent display. That is Chocolatiers. If you haven't played it and you're looking for a super easy game just to pass the time, this is a good one. It's a nice little thing. Only takes around 15 minutes to play as well. 15 to 20 minutes. I've probably got the time it takes to play above, have I? I'm hoping it matches what I've just said. Yeah, Chocolatiers, and who does not love chocolate? Get on it. At number 8, we've got Rise of Augustus, or just Augustus in the US market, I think. If you're looking for it, it'll be under A, not R. Rise of Augustus is essentially bingo. And who doesn't love bingo? Now, my mother-in-law will play this, and the reason she'll play it is because it's like a bingo. And you see on the bag there, you've got the tokens. They're the bingo balls. They come out of the bag blind, and you try and match up that symbol on your player cards here with your little legionnaires, and when you fill your card in, you shout bingo. No, you don't. You shout Ave Caesar, and you fill that card. You get some victory points, and you may even get an instant reward as well. It's super easy to play, and the theming on it is beautiful. I mean, even the little meeples, they look like little legionnaires. Look, they're not normal meeples. So if you haven't played it, even though it's from 2013, look at them. Oh, they're adorable. Go out and check out this one. It's a great family game. And the theme on it's lovely as well. That's Rise of Augustus. That's my number 8. At number 7, we've got Just One, and it is really, really easy to play, and that's why this one's awesome. It's a great family and party game. I took it over to my daughter's house. They kept it for their big New Year's Eve board game night, and it went off. Brilliant little game. So it's super simple. You get one of these cards in front of you. You choose a word at random. Now the person playing can't see the card. They can only see the back. So say we're going to go for snow. Everyone else has to write words, just one word, on their little player thing, if we can get to it here. And that is a clue to the person guessing. Now the trick is you can only have one of each word. So if for snow, for example, if 3 people write white, all of those are removed and the only clues are what's left. So it's an awesome little mechanic that you have to sort of think, what is something that someone isn't going to put, as opposed to a really good clue, because the really good clue might be so obvious, everyone else puts it and then that person's messed up. It's a cooperative game, which of course makes it fun. And the scoring's just that thing of, if you guess 8, you did okay. If you did 10, oh, you're doing fantastic. If you did all 13, wow, you're amazing, that kind of thing. But it's just a good laugh. So that is my number 7, Lucky 7, Just One. If you haven't played it, make a point. It's really good. At number 6, we've got Valley of the Vikings. This is a game that I literally bought within the last month. I bought it when my grandkids came up to visit and I thought they would enjoy it. I'm a big fan of Harbour. They do fantastic games. So I saw this in the game shop and I grabbed it. You can see it comes with these awesome giant Viking boats, and the overall idea is that you are trying to fill your boat with more gold coins than the other players, and they're yellow plastic coins. My grandkids loved the coins. They wanted all the coins. So shout out to Harbour for making it look so good, I guess. So it's not really a game for adults. It's definitely one for kids, but you will enjoy playing it with them. And you can see here the dot. That's where your strategy comes in. Not strategy for us older gamers, but there is a tiny bit of strategy in here where you need to knock over the barrels in the center and work out where you are going to end up. There's the beautiful wooden barrels. There's your paddle, so you hit the ball with that and you move the barrels around so it's at your advantage on your turn. It's a beautiful thing. I'm not going to go into the rules. If you want to look it up, you can look up a video of it. But if you're looking for a good kids game, this is fantastic. My grandkids are 6 and 4 and they loved it. That is Valley of the Vikings, my number 6. At number 5, we've got Escape the Dark Castle. Now, I don't actually own this game. My son-in-law owns it. It is on my wants list, but it's so expensive to import it from Europe that I haven't yet jumped on it. You can see it's got some old-style art that maybe everyone's not into. I love the art style because it reminds me of illustrations that I would see back in the very early 80s when I first started tabletop role-playing. A lot of the magazines would have this art style in them. So this is an adventure game where you've been wrongly incarcerated in a dungeon and you're trying to get out with your other players. It's a cooperative game. Each player gets a personalized card and dice. So the mason here, you can see, has his own stats, as does the tailor in the other player cards as well. There's a deck of cards that are laid out and you flip over the top one and you try and complete that. Usually it's fighting a monster. You'll band together to try and defeat it and then move on to the next card. And if you complete the entire deck, you've won the game. You've escaped the Dark Castle. I love it. It's fantastic. And if you play with people that get into the role-playing aspect of it like I do, it's even better. It's a wonderful game. Don't overlook it for that strange artwork. I think you'll enjoy it. That's my number 5. Hear ye, hear ye, I am the mayor of Tiny Town. Tiny Towns is a game I bought this year. I think it might have actually come out this year as well. I keep saying this year, 2019. So I think it might actually be a game of 2019 on my list of 2019. So that's good for all you Cult of the New folk that might be watching and you're angry that I'm putting old games on here. Don't be angry. We all love board games. Tiny Towns, you play the mayor of Tiny Town. Beautiful artwork, by the way. And you are trying to build up your tiny town. The problem is that all of the turns are not dictated by you. Turns are dictated by other players also. So you have to try and work out what buildings you're going to go for by collecting the resource cubes. You can see here. Collect those, get that building, and then place it on your tiny town. But at points, other people are going to be picking the resources. So you might be trying for brick, and then suddenly you haven't got brick, you've got wood. What are you going to do? So it's a really cool strategy. Here they are. The artwork's lovely. If you haven't played Tiny Towns, honestly, give it a go. It's easy, but it's clever because of that mechanic. I think you'll really enjoy it. Sort of throws a spanner in the works, and that is a whole heap of fun. That's Tiny Towns. What number are we up to now? Number 4. My number 4. Don't groan. If you know me, you know this was going to be on here. It's Pandemic, and I'm a Pandemic fanatic. Pandemic Rapid Response is my number 3. This is a real-time game where you play a member of a crew on a giant airplane, and there's different areas of the airplane, and you have to collect resources from those areas in real time. Man, this thing gets frantic. And then you have to move the plane around the outside of the board to whatever city you need to deliver those resources to. Now, I'm not going to go through all the rules, but there's also a recycling center. So you have to keep the rubbish on the plane down, as well as collecting the various resources and delivering them to the cities all before the time runs out, basically. Now, my daughter hates Pandemic. Oh, what did I do wrong? But she loves Pandemic Rapid Response. They actually went out and bought this the day after I took it over there and we played it together. So if you don't like Pandemic, don't be put off that this is Pandemic. It could be any kind of delivery theme, really, but it's a fun game because of the real-time aspect. It gets mad. That is my number 3, Pandemic Rapid Response. Oh my goodness, could it be another 2019 game on my 2019 games list? I think it is. I'm pretty sure Wingspan came out last year. Designed by Elizabeth Hargrave, and man, she knocked it out of the park. Like, literally, if her name was on a game now, I'm interested straight away, because Wingspan plays so beautifully, and as you can see from the images, it looks gorgeous when it's on the table as well. Who knew a board game about birds would be so captivating? But it is. You can see the surround of this video is just a quick picture I took of my geek bits, because I actually upgraded Wingspan just because it's I don't even have the words to say what it is about this that is so captivating. The rules are super smooth. Firstly, the engine building is so clever. Even for someone who's not great at that, I still really enjoy it. There's enough random stuff in it that it's more fair, and there's going to be loads of expansions, no doubt, coming out. There's already one out. I'm assuming there'll be others. There's nothing about this that I don't like. And look at even the little birdhouse that you roll the dice in. It's so thematic. It's just lovely. So that is why it's my number 2. Now, if I were doing games from 2019, this would be my number 1. But if you know me at all, and I know you do, if you've returned here, you'll know what my number 1 is. And that's coming up now. Yes, my number 1 game of 2019 is the same as my number 1 game for every year. It is Pandemic. I just love it. I think it's a perfect game. Mechanically perfect, thematically perfect. There's nothing about this that I don't like, and I've managed to get other people into tabletop gaming because of Pandemic, and that makes me like it even more. Yeah, if you followed me for a while, you'll know it was going to be my number 1, unless I was doing strictly 2019. But as I say, I don't think I had enough games purchased last year to do just games purchased in 2019. So yeah, Pandemic's my number 1. For me, it's a perfect game. I collect Matt Leacock games purely based on my love for Pandemic. I own all the Pandemics. I thoroughly enjoyed Pandemic Legacy. 1 way more than 2, but anyway. Yeah, I know it's got its haters out there. One of my best mates, Dave, does not like Pandemic, and I don't know why. I can't, we really should discuss it in some depth, because the thematic nature of it, maybe when he plays it, he doesn't play the thematic side of it, but I just love the idea of going around the world and trying to save these people. It's It's a beautiful game. I love it. I love it. Pandemic, my number one. And I've never seen this artwork before. And I said that on the first cut, so I'm going to say it again now. I've never seen that before, and I thought I knew everything about Pandemic. That aside, that was my top 10 for 2019. I would love to hear in the comments down below what you've enjoyed this year, whether or not it came out in 2019 or it came out in 2008. Like Pandemic. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you, as always. And if you haven't subscribed, maybe that's something you want to do. I'm not sure. I hope so. I hope so. Cover board games, VR games, video games, random geeky stuff, a little bit of art, painting, prop making, all that kind of good stuff. That's it. That's my top 10 for 2019. What were yours? Let me know, and I will catch you next time. Hopefully this is saved correctly and we don't need to go for number 3. Nerfenstein out.